Okay. Seamless start to cut in mid conversation to say, but I have got notes for this podcast. Welcome back to Just Not Crick Pod. We're back after a lengthy delay because I guess who cares? Which leads me into my next point. I guess the ECB don't care either. Am I right? Am I right? That's
I
topical.
was just thinking, well, Rob Key clearly doesn't
Yeah.
give a shit either.
So I think I'll start. We're going to jump straight in because we already said hello and how are you off pod. I'm going to ask a question using the only metric that matters on the pod. What do you think is a bigger waste of time, England's Test summer or the season 5 finale of Merlin?
Well, the thing is, we've gotten a lot of conversation out of Merlin.
Yeah.
To the point where you went back and rewatched the first season.
Yeah.
And, like, you are quite, like, into the whole Arthur mythology.
Yeah.
I like the Arthur mythology.
Yeah.
So we can, like, we have back and forth on that. So I think that discussing season 5 of Merlin, even though it was utter shite, personally brings me more joy and satisfaction than anything relating to England Test cricket.
Loves it. Maybe we should just change this to a Merlin pod. Wouldn't that be nice?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just not Merlin.
Yeah, just not Merlin. Where is he? He's not here.
Which would actually work when he's Emrys, because he's not Merlin.
It's not Merlin, it's Emrys. So, where we last picked, from Just Not Crick's narrative, where we last finished, Stokes resigned and we had all that nonsense of the Trent Bridge test, which was just ridiculous. Since then, England have played White Ball series where they played India and they beat India 4-0 in the T20 series and then beat India 2-1 in the ODI series, which I think was a very good win in both. I think the White Ball side is coming along leaps and bounds under Harry Brook and McCullum.
You can also say that considering India's form in White Ball...
Well, their T20 side was very much like, here's our next cab off the ranks. Whilst the ODI side was, this is us pretty much full strength.
Yeah. But considering Ireland whitewashed...
Yeah.
India,
yeah.
And fair play to Ireland, great.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
But if India are getting whitewashed by Ireland, then...
Yeah.
Let's rejudge how much beating them matters.
Yeah, I think the sentiment is, in our quick India chat for our Indian fans, I think the sentiment is that India will play their best T20 team in a T20 World Cup, and then outside of that, they will try and blood the next generation and then find who's going to fill the gaps when you get, Bumrah's always going to play a T20 World Cup, but he's not going to play a 5-match T20 series against England, which I think is fine. Whilst England, I think, are going the other way, and they've played their strongest side in every game. Joffre's played, I think, every game this summer apart from that first test. Josh Tunger's been consistently there all the time. Brook, and then Root's back playing ODIs consistently. Didn't get dismissed once during the ODI series, which is pretty decent going. So you can definitely see the different approaches. But yeah, so England won that, and then... I can't remember if we discussed this. Australia won the T20 Women's World Cup. We might have said that last time. I can't remember.
Maybe.
It's just as expected. And then India absolutely trounced England women at Lords in the first ever women's test at Lords. And I think England have a lot of work to do. I said that before the summer, so there's no real surprises there. But during that women's test, the news broke that Brendan McCullum is sacked as test coach, but will stay as white ball coach. That's kind of old news, happened weeks ago, I guess.
And
but
it wasn't
yes,
quite worded as sacked. It was
that kind of some kind. I don't have the wording exactly, but it was very much the sentiment that McCullum wanted to stay, and then Rob Key and co didn't.
Yeah,
so I think
relieved of duties, which sounds an awful lot like sacked.
Yeah.
But
going in a different direction.
Yeah.
But he's still staying for white ball, which I think has led into
that direction is ever so slightly veering. Either left or right.
Yeah, we shall see. But then the news broke this week, and it's all been nonsense chat for ages about who's going to be coach, and obviously who's going to be captain. Before we get on to coach, I guess, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But I think when we had the whole curfew gate, which feels like ages ago, um, you muted the point when Root was made interim captain for the test that just give it to Root until the Ashes. Which was I don't think I saw the opinion from any pundit or any of the kind of nonsense online. So I think that was you alone in that opinion. But lo and behold, here we are. Root has been given the reins to the Ashes. What are your thoughts about that? Just to start with,
vindication.
Yeah.
If I'm so, this is 1-for-1 for captaincy guesses.
Yeah.
And I've got the current ongoing push for Jofra to get captaincy. So I'm just saying 2-for-2 is on the cards.
Could be. You just had Root just sidestep just quickly as a quick interjection before to Jofra, I guess.
Well, yeah, just give it Rooty till the end of the Ashes.
Yeah.
And then Job's primed to take over. He's sorted his injury problems out.
Yeah.
He's not fucking off back to the Caribbean for a random first class game to piss Rob Key off.
No.
Because Rob Key's going to be gone by that time as well.
Well, if they lose against Pakistan, Christ alive. Yeah, we'll see. What are your opinions on obviously being right, which is nice, but what about the actual appointment? I guess you're happy if you predicted that. Are you happy about it, or did you just predict it because it's the kind of only logical step?
I think the only two choices were just give it Brooke because he's being earmarked as the next captain anyway.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But I think the idea would have been Stokes would still be captain for another year or so.
18 months, whatever, yeah.
Fell apart. To let Brooke grow into the captaincy roles for the white ball, which he's done pretty well at. But without Stokes there to give him that sort of buffer, it would be a bit too much responsibility to throw on him. Now I don't think he's ready at all. I don't think he's ready as a test match player. He's still growing and learning in that aspect. So I don't think he's should be ready or should be thrust into a test match captaincy role. And then the other option is just give it Root short term, seeing as he's done it before to a varying to bad degree of success. But who else?
Yeah.
Basically. I think I've seen a few comments disparaging his captaincy in the second test, was it? After Curfew Gate?
Yeah.
Which I think is fair to a point. It's unfair to judge how this second stint as captain will go just based on that one game.
Mm-hmm.
You can look back to the previous reign, but he will obviously have learned something from that. So don't judge him on the one game where he had to step in without knowing days beforehand it was ever going to happen.
Yeah, and a bowling attack of Matt Fisher, Sonny Baker, Jofra Archer without any red ball cricket, and then Josh Tongue basically is almost like your experienced leader of the attack. So yeah, I agree. I think he was thrust into a ridiculous situation there. Just to quickly go back to Harry Brook, again, there's been a lot of because when there's not comments, a lot of chat and annoyance online that there's been the camp who have been absolutely berating Brook over the last year for soft dismissals or New Zealand nightclubs or saying things ridiculous, but then are also suspiciously the same camp being like, why is he not Test captain? So that's one thing annoying, but then saying things like, oh, they should just give him Test captaincy and just give the white ball captaincy to someone else like Sam Curran. And then I think that's just a bit of a discredit to what Brook's done in the white ball. You're immediately saying white ball doesn't matter, what he's doing doesn't matter, just give it anyone else, they do the same job, which I'd say is not right, because Joss Butler was captain and he was terrible. And then Brook has come in and been a breath of fresh air, and he's got the best out of some of these players. He was an advocate for bringing back Liam Dawson. he's got the best out of Sam Curran, a player I don't like, and has grown the team to a point where they are beating like the strongest Indian team on paper in the ODI series. And there's a World Cup next year. They're building towards that. I think it's unfair to say anyone can just come in and do that job. So I think just leaving him be with the white ball captaincy, which was always the plan. Like you say, Stokes was always going to be captain until the end of the Ashes, and then it'll be Brook afterwards. So the succession plan is a bit more disjointed, but Root will come in and hold fort to the end of the season. And then Brook will, after the Ashes, it will then be the World Cup in October. When that World Cup finishes, there'll be a changing of the guard because Root will not play ODIs anymore, Butler won't, maybe Jofra, and Brook might take that stage to be like, okay, that will now transition to someone else, and you can give that to Jacob Bethel or Curran if you want, and then after that World Cup, he can then become Test captain, which I think makes logical sense. He's then had another year of being captain and maturing a bit. I think that makes most sense for him to step into that role. But the nonsense of the chat, I just don't I don't understand how that you don't look at that and feel that's a logical thing. And people are saying, oh, captaincy is going to affect Root's captaincy, or no, captaincy is going to affect Root's batting. When in 2021 he got like 1,700 runs or something stupid in his last year as captaincy, and I just think that's a weak argument. Like you said, it was a long time ago.
During his captaincy,
yeah.
He was the only one
scoring runs. Yeah, I think extras was the highest, wasn't it? So I think that's a silly argument. And you're judging him, like you say, there's a lot of judgment again on how he captained that second test. I'm like, he was a bit of a hiding to nothing. So I don't understand what you want. And then you just have also other. I hate the nonsense. The other nonsense from pundits and cricket people saying, oh, you bring in someone else. Like I've seen again Sam Curran being used as Test captain. He's not in the team. Someone saying like bring back Ollie Pope and make him captain. Why are you bringing back someone who was stripped of vice captaincy because he was not good enough to be in the team, so they could drop him? Why would you then bring him back to then captain the team he's not in? It could only be Brook or Root, and I think this is the most sensible decision. I think anyone overreacting about this, the other side, is wrong.
Yeah, it's not a good situation. I don't think either are perfect.
No, I don't really want Root to be captain, but if you had to tell, he's the person you have to have.
I would have liked Stokes to have remained captain for a little bit.
Yeah.
But that position became untenable for a various
100%.
amount of reasons.
Yeah. It's the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you said, name dropping like Ollie Pope and whoever else. Like who else is there?
Yeah.
Like you're not just going to give it Ben Duckett just because.
I know. Yeah. People like saying, "Oh, I think Michael Vaughan said." I think Vaughan was probably more towards Root camp, but he also muted. You could always give it to Jacob Bethel. It's like, why would you give it to Jacob Bethel? A player that so many people and pundits are saying, "Oh, he's still not good enough." Like, just let the kid just carry on and just settle in, and then he can be vice captain after when Brook is made full-time captain. Then you have a succession plan. I don't understand. People just like to whinge. I guess we're whinging, but I feel like we're whinging rightly.
We're whinging about the whinging.
Yeah. Like, again, I think, like you say, Stokes should be captain, but for one reason or another, he's not. So this is best option.
That is ideal world, should be captain. That is not currently in this moment in time should be captain.
No. But, in their succession, their not succession plan, their whole post-Ashes review, he would be captain. He would be captain to the end of the Ashes. That is the whole point. So he's not. So here we are. And then they've got a job to do to try and rebalance that side. Under their new coach, you excited about Stephen Fleming?
No.
Why not?
Wait, you wanted more? Well, when I first saw the announcement, my first thought was, who the fuck is Stephen Fleming? And I've had a brief look at his career.
Yeah.
And his coaching career. It's a lot of Super Kings.
Yeah.
And those that aren't Super Kings also seem to be franchise cricket teams, which is not I'm not. That doesn't
No.
bring me a lot of confidence. And I know, like, cricket can translate fine between formats. Sometimes as a coach, it's not like the be-all and end-all.
No.
But you would like someone to have some experience, like Red Bull coaching.
You'd hope, yeah.
Like, I just don't know where this name has come from. Like, who in like the meetings have been like, you know who's a great shout? Stephen Fleming.
Mm.
And then Rob Key's also gone, who the fuck is Stephen Fleming?
I'm so shrug. So Stephen Fleming, I feel like was just on the cusp of our time watching it, I'd say. When we first got, well, I think when we were watching it at our meme days, maybe just before. So he's New Zealand's most coveted Test captain. So I think I don't have the stats to hand, but I think he's captained over 100 tests. Solid, gritty kind of opening batter. You know, the complete polar opposite batter to McCullum, as an example, if we're going off. So you'd say he's more he is a Test match batter at heart. He's not necessarily a white ball player. He is a Test match player, so he has that pedigree. But like you say, and I don't know whether or not this makes difference anymore because this is the cricket world we live in. He has been coaching in the IPL predominantly since I think 2009, and I think he's won the IPL with Chennai Super Kings like 5 times. But obviously Chennai's got had some brilliant players, and he worked with someone like MS Dhoni. So I guess you could say that's positive that he's worked with big name players and big egos and stuff like that. But
did his career and McCullum's career overlap?
I think a little bit. They are mates. They've got investments in the same things.
So did old Bads like bring up that name?
Well, this is the thing. This is another little piece of the pie. It feels to me like this is a decision made for a number of reasons. I don't think just necessarily because of he's the best Test match fit. I think a big chunk of this is because he will work well with McCullum as white ball coach, because there's got to be some give about what player is going to be available when, and they need someone who can work with McCullum on that rather than someone who's going to be no, I want Jofra for this Test, he can't play that ODI series. So I feel like
I also feel like in that specific situation it should be the physio being like, no, he shouldn't play in this.
yeah. So I think that's one of the big things that it bubbles down to. But like I think he was sacked or left Chennai this year, and that happened I think the day after McCullum was sacked. So like it was already like alarm bells immediately being like, this is obviously who they're going to go for. I think again in an ideal world, like when they wanted Stokes, they wanted Andy Flower to come back and have Andy Flower Part 2, but obviously he's paid a godload of money from his IPL franchise, and then you have to juggle doing the IPL and Test cricket, which I don't think is the right thing to do. So he said no, and he ruled himself out early. Other names, Justin Langer was being thrown about. That would have been a car crash, but I would have quite liked to watch it, especially on Amazon Prime. And Trot was also thrown about. And again, I think we might have spoken about this before, but I would have quite liked Trot in there in some
I was just thinking
capacity.
Trot is like it's sort of a bridge between old and new generation as well.
I think so. I think Trot would have done a decent job. I think Fleming
and he's been doing really well with Afghanistan as well.
Yeah.
Actually. So that one would have been risky, but it would have made a bit of sense.
Yeah, and I think also you've got to look at it. I mean, I don't know this is being favourable over an England player, and I quite like Trot, but like, I think you've got to look at the circumstances. I mean, Fleming could work out well, and he's going to get paid a lot, and he's going to be given a contract to 2030, so maybe he will. But if you're comparing Trot and Fleming, because I would have gone Trot, Trot's coaching circumstances, coaching Afghanistan during the last, good chunk amount of years in a hugely turbulent time for the country, where they obviously can't play at home. A team that was initially an associate nation and now has got Test status, and the way that he's galvanised that team and has got them to semi-finals of T20 World Cups is a much harder and more difficult job than I think just being given a CSK IPL job with the best players in the world. Is that fair?
I will be honest and say lost track of what you were saying for the last
So I was saying
10
so.
seconds, only because I was googling Stephen Fleming golf handicap to see if he'd fit in well with the
Sure, that makes sense.
hierarchy. So I
So
apologise
that's
for
fine.
not listening, but I think it was a very important.
So my
variable
point
to
is,
determine how like seamlessly he'd fit in with
yeah, of course,
well
yeah,
McCullum
absolutely,
works
yeah.
and how well Rob Key works.
What's the best place to go on drive it? Oh yeah, there's some other
Yeah,
Fleming points that I'm not
like,
particularly happy
and
about.
I wish I knew what the handicap meant, but I don't.
No, I'm sure it's good. But yeah, overall my point is, I feel like Trott's coaching career has been a lot more difficult, I would say, from an outside perspective than Fleming's IPL gig has been, is my point of view. And I feel like that might potentially make someone a better coach. But, you know, people probably shout at me for that. But I feel like an IPL gig is probably going to be easier than an Afghanistan gig. But
Yeah, but then
maybe
again,
that's
like
controversial.
sometimes certain people thrive in specific circumstances.
Maybe, yeah.
So like Trott might just have, that might just be the role for Trott. That might be what
Yeah,
makes him tick and what makes the players around him tick.
true.
Whereas if he goes into like a big national side setup,
Yeah.
and when I say big national side setup, I mean like test setup, not to disparage Afghanistan, because
No.
they've been incredible for the last few years. But like on the scale of England, Australia, India, which I'm sure fans from other countries will hate, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like he might not have worked in that environment in the same way. He's
No, true.
been brilliant for Afghanistan, so we can't know, and that's
Yeah.
the risk if we were to have
Yeah.
wanted him. But we're still taking that risk.
Still
with
taking that risk with Fleming. Yeah,
Stephen
that's the point. Yeah.
fucking Fleming.
Yeah, like I feel
who's
like.
on a 7 to 9 handicap.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, no, I think you're right. That's good. That's my point. I think one of the, from what I've read, is that Trott wasn't given it because of the experience he lacked. But then I would say that Fleming doesn't have any international experience. So yeah, it's. I think that this was probably always going to be the plan. I know people were saying they wanted Flower massively, but I think him leaving CSK only a couple of days after McCullum was sacked was kind of telling. And I think it's probably quite an easy appointment, I would say. He did have a say in Root being captain. That was one, because Key has said today in his interviews, which I barely listened to, that he wanted the coach to decide the captain or have a say in the captain, and Fleming was in the agreement that it should be Root, not Brook. So I think that's important, I guess. But he's...
Rob Key also said that he'd leave the door open for Stokes if he wanted to come.
Yeah, that's another point.
Yeah, I think that would be great if Rob is letting him, like, if Rob's letting the door hit him on the way out, but that's fine.
Yeah, so the exact quotes from Key was that, it would be a brilliant story if he does. He hasn't indicated the change of heart, but I wouldn't be surprised. Anything is possible with Ben. And then also in this is a quick info article. So it's that Fleming has previously coached Stokes at the IPL with both Pune Super Giants and Chennai Super Kings, but is yet to make contact. And then Key said, we haven't got round to that at the moment, but it would be a great story, which to me says Stokes, Ashes 2027, let's go. But also... saying that Fleming hasn't made contact, Fleming's not also going to be here coaching the Pakistan series. That's going to be Trescothick as interim, even though we've now hired a coach. Thoughts on that?
Weird, because I did see something about, it might have been Michael Vaughan, but I don't want to miscredit him with that. But someone did say that he should,
I think that was Vaughan.
Fleming should cut his holiday short.
Yeah.
Which... he should be back to coach in time for the Pakistan series.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't like have a bit of a holiday. That's fine, because he's not too long ago left his own job, so he take a bit of a break. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should be coming back.
Yeah.
A bit sooner if you get a job with an impending fixture list. Like.
Yeah. Because also it's not like he's been given the whole England job. He's got 3 tests against Pakistan. and then there's no Test series until South Africa in the winter. So like, it's not like he's going to have a chunk of time. He's going to have that chunk of time afterwards as well. It's quite a nice time to start. So I at least I don't understand why he's not coming for later tests. I don't understand. I do like, what we do, because who's going to be making decisions of this Test series? Is it just going to be like a placeholder of a series where they're just going to largely pick the same players, and then Fleming will then make decisions after that? Or is Fleming going to help choose this squad when he's not here to pick it? Because if he's picking these players, he's not going to be there to coach them. He's just going to be like, I like this player, play him. Oh, I talked to them in South Africa. Like, what are we doing? This feels like a mess. Like, so I can't see them really picking anyone else other than who was in the last series. Other than obviously it'll be Sam Curran at 6. So
now that Stokes has gone, we can't even get Rian Ahmed in.
No.
To what would be a pretty good position for him to come into.
Yeah, but is that right? I don't think I've seen anyone talk about this, but is that not awkward? Like, what's the team gonna be? Are we just, because this again, we've got a quote from Fleming. If you want to hear Fleming talk,
Sure.
Flemball. I'm
It doesn't have the same ring, does it?
PH Flemball. I'm incredibly excited to be joining England as Test coach. Of course, it's one of the most prestigious coaching positions in world cricket, and I'm honoured to be appointed. This is the bit which I feel is like the eye roll. I'm looking forward to working with the players and bedding in the gains made by Brendan McCullum and Ben Stokes, which to me says we're kind of just going to pick the same players and just carry on and do the same thing. Not necessarily in the same extreme, but I don't look at that and be like, there's going to be much change. So I don't think they're going to change the squad really at all for Pakistan. So, but I don't know what that says to a player. Like, if you've got a player like Jamie Smith, or let's say Rayan Ahmed or Bashir, who have been McCullum and Stokes picks, it feels like they're coming in and be like, I now have to have this series to actually try and show what I can do or prove what I can do. But the person I'm trying to prove it to isn't going to be here. I can't talk to them about what I need to do. So it just feels, I think it's just, we've got someone now, but I feel like this the same mess, if not a different mess.
You know, like, the England Test side is always gearing towards the Ashes.
Yeah.
Which now with the Test Championship as a thing, shouldn't be your only goal. Like,
no, of
it's
course
not
not.
as if these Pakistan games don't have anything riding on them anymore.
No.
Pakistan are going to do their best to try and get to the Test Championship final.
Yeah, they're not making it. So
No, they're not making it, but, like,
but they should be
something
playing.
to
Yeah.
aim for. Whereas England are like, just don't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
Australia do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have the Ashes to give a shit about as well. But like, they put their best foot forward for the Test Championship. Whereas England are just like focused on the cycle of Ashes.
Yeah. And it's exhausting. And
it's just like, you imagine going through like a Premier League season and you finish, I don't know, 15th, but you've beaten Arsenal twice. Like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah. No, 100%. And I don't feel this appointment really changes anything of that. If it had been like an Andy Flower type, I'd have been like, okay, they're gonna hard nose, be like, we need to really knuckle down. But I think this is just how can we appease our white ball coach, which feels a mess. I really don't understand.
Would you have liked Flower back, or would that have been going?
I think Flower would. I mean, everyone's saying he's the best coach in the world apparently, because he's coaching at the IPL and they've won the IPL last 2 years, so that makes him the best coach. I'd say Andrew McDonald probably has something to say about that, but that's fine. I don't know if he was, he would have to be England, completely England. I wouldn't want a coach to be being away for 2 months of the year and also auction time doing an IPL stuff. So maybe, but I also don't think you should be going back. Like when they went back to Peter Moores, that was a car crash. I mean, Andy Flower's a much better coach than Peter Moores, but I don't know if that's really what you want. I mean, that end of his coaching tether was just not good either. So I probably no is my answer. And I don't know necessarily if Trott was the right answer either, but I don't know. I would have more faith in that than Fleming, but maybe Fleming will prove me wrong. Just what the arguments I hear for Fleming, it's been like the same that I heard when McCullum was like brought in. Like, he's a good bloke, and then with Fleming we've got, he won the county championship with Notts in 2005. So like, they're like, oh, he knows how to win in England. It's like, he knows how to win in England 21 years ago. How is that a point? How if it was like, you know, an English county coach who'd won the county championship in the last 2 years, I'd be like, yeah, you got a point.
Yeah.
It's a completely different time.
There's a prominent saying, or it's becoming more prominent in football, when one person asks another, "Oh, how would you rate that player?" The person will answer, "Oh, he's a good lad."
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. I heard it.
Great, but that clearly means you don't rate him.
Yeah.
So if you've got, if one of the first things you say about Stephen Fleming, "Oh yeah, he's a good lad."
Yeah.
I mean, cool.
Great. Good luck that.
Probably a bit not like.
Yeah. I would. Maybe he'll do great. Maybe he'll be good. Maybe he's going to get the best out of certain players. And he's worked with big players in the IPL, yada, yada, yada. I would have a lot more respect if he was here for his job for the first 3 tests. I think immediately that's putting him on the back foot. And not necessarily just to be here. Like, I think, again, the more I think about it, the more the whole squad thing, I think, is an absolute joke. Like, who you're picking, and then you're also not coaching who you're picking. I think that's just a mess. So, yippee yay. Maybe I should have just gone Trescothic and gone with like a Carrick point of view, that if he does well, keep it with Trescothic.
I think that would have been fine, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, if he did well, then just like keep it rolling.
Keep going, yeah. I mean, they should be. If they don't beat Pakistan, then
we do the Merlin podcast.
Yeah, like Pakistan are just Pakistan are below us in the World Test Championship table. That shows you the level of like Pakistan at the moment. And they also just got beaten by West Indies. West Indies, who I think have been unbeaten in tests in 3 games, which for West Indies in recent years is pretty decent. So
yeah, West Indies feel like they're storming back into not even relevance, into like fearfulness. Like
their win against Pakistan the other day was brilliant. Like, some of the deliveries, like, you know, from Roach and Jaden Seals, like they've got a really good bowling attack, and especially getting wickets in West Indies where it's been predominantly flat. So maybe we'll just turn to West Indies podcast, because to me that's looking more interesting. Yeah. But yeah, they should beat Pakistan. Don't know what the team will be. Stephen Fleming probably doesn't know either. Good stuff. Is there anything else about this that we can look at? It's just a shrug. That's my overall like opinion. I'm not necessarily angry, but I'm not necessarily happy. It just is what it is. The only positive I'd like from this is that I'd like to see Root finish his career on a high. So if that means Root as captain wins the Ashes at home next year, I know so I'm now making about the Ashes, but for Root to captain an Ashes win would be quite nice to see. But yeah, hey ho. I'm taking the tiny bits of positives that I can. Last question, I guess go very quickly back to Stokes, because Stokes has scored some runs in the Metro Bank 50 over competition for Durham. An unbeaten 100 basically on one leg. He got a 70, but then he's since got a first ball duck and I think 20 today or something. Do you think Stokes can come back in and not captain? I guess he could. I guess under Root is the only person who's come back to play with, I'd say. But do you think this is still leading to a Stokes return next summer?
I think Root is the only person he'd come back to play under as captain. I don't think he should come back at all. I think he's burnt enough bridges. I think people are a bit pissed off with how he handled his farewell test match.
Yeah, I think it's a joke.
All those standing O's, that was a bit.
Yeah.
There was a game on, and he's announced his retirement, and then it's all suddenly about him.
Yeah.
When it's clearly like a bit of statement against.
Yeah, it's trying to get it's trying to get people sacked, isn't it?
It's like, I don't see it currently.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't see Moeen Ali coming back into the England team, and Stokes has retired from white ball before and returned. And played an important part in a World Cup win. So I don't know. I don't think he should. I don't want him to. I think we should just move on and try and... Because if he did come back, it's not going to be for an extended period of time either.
No.
It's going to be in that sort of Moeen Ali vein where he's back for a series or something, just to like tide us over, or because the other options aren't good enough, or for some reason they still don't rate Rian Ahmed. But
I don't know. I think he wanted Rob Key to be sacked. I think that was his...
I think that was the intention.
Yeah, and somehow he's the one that survived. I mean, I think I've mentioned earlier that Rob Key said he said, I think he was asked if Stokes had burnt his bridges with the manner of his retirement, which was announced midway through day 4 of the Trent Bridge, which Key said, no, not at all. Not as far as I'm concerned. But we'll see. I mean, Fleming might go, that might be his first thing when he comes in as coach after a test series. That might be his first thing. He speaks to Stokes. If Fruit speaks to Stokes, and then I guess he could come in for the South Africa series. He plays well in South Africa. But I think that just makes the whole retirement in Trent Bridge an even bigger joke. That you throw a game because of one person's ego. And I love Stokes. I think Stokes is a brilliant player, but that was one of the worst passages of cricket I've ever seen in my life.
And even the opposition are going like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, that completely sums it up. Yeah, it's...
To make such a spectacle of it, only to come back, is just... like, give your ego a rest.
And that is it. That is massive for the ego, isn't it? So we'll see. So I look forward to seeing him on the team sheet for the first Ashes test next summer, probably alongside Mo. Get Bairstow back in. Just get the whole gang back together for one last rodeo. I'd watch that. Would I? So I think that's kind of it for England news. Unless you've got any other England news.
I don't have England news. I don't really have news.
I guess very quickly we can talk about the other stuff that's hit the press. The 100 has started and the ticket sales are down 20%. All the grounds look empty. I guess you've not watched any of it? No. It looks... I mean, I don't like the 100, but I'm not going to be like, boo, I hate this from the rooftops, that a lot of people are. But it's an embarrassing look where you've got a lot of these grounds half empty in the August in their prime slot, which they've put aside especially for the 100, and they can't fill these massive grounds, which they're hoping to. I think it looks pretty bad. Any general thoughts on that, other than it just being haha?
I think it's been a bit awkward with it being shit hot for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So when it's a format when people aren't that invested in anyway, and then the weather's on top of that is burning everyone to a crisp. Where's the motivation for the fans to go and spend their money?
Yeah. But you've also got all the private investors and stuff that have come in this year. So now originally the ticket prices were through the ECB, and they were cheaper and targeted towards families and affordable. But they always made the 100, so then private investors could come in and buy the teams. So you now have them all owned by a lot of Indian franchises. So then the ticket prices have gone up, shockingly. So I think for a 100 game now in London, I looked just, I might watch some cricket in an evening. And it's I think at least £44 at the Oval, which for a 100 game, which is shorter than the T20. I know you get the double bill of the women's game and the men's game, but for an evening, you're not going to be able to watch the women's game because it's going to be on earlier in the afternoon when people are at work. But 44 quid is just... Are you going to pay 44 quid for a 100 game, which no one else is, or are you going to pay, a little bit more from that for a full day of a test match? If they had the Roses equivalent of the 100 the other day, which was... what are their blooming names? The Manchester Supergiants, is it? Is it Manchester? I think it's Manchester Super... I don't know. With the elephant.
No, I just remember you sending me a reel of the Leeds dressing room singing a
Yeah, and Leeds, whatever it is, Sunrisers Leeds, yeah,
stupid team.
yeah, which is just so that's cool. And it was the Northern Superchargers. So there's a lot of facets to that. Like they made these teams 3 years ago, whatever it was, and then all of these are suddenly changing their identity immediately. Like if you live in, not Leeds, like are you going to be wanting to support a Leeds team? Probably not. When Northern Superchargers is just like the North, I still hate it, but like you've changed their identity within 2 or 3 years, and people aren't going to go and watch that. Why? If you had a Leeds Test match at Headingley last week, you can't tell me that would not be sold out for at least the first 3 days.
Yeah.
But then you look at this 100 game, which is a Rose's equivalent, and it's half empty. I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit there, but half empty. Let's go with that now. And then you have the first game, which was at the Oval, and that was for Mumbai Indians London against whoever. And I've read they gave away 5,000 free tickets for that first game. And every game they give away free T-shirts, so they encourage you to wear it. So it looks like everyone's got the merch and stuff. So you're just hiding behind all this stuff to be like, look how many people we've got. And it's like, well, we gave away all these tickets. And then when you get to the grounds where they're not giving away the tickets and you see the reality of it, I don't know. I never liked the 100, but I think I had more respect for the 100 when it wasn't private investors, and I think that's the general sentiment.
It feels like that's the first nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Because I assume the attendance levels have still been pretty good for the T20 Blast.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, like obviously Farmers Day sold out, and I think it's struggled a lot because they've obviously put the Blast into term times and stuff. When I think the Blast was always like best in this kind of time period where you've got like kids who can come out of school and go watch a T20 game in the evening. I think when we watched the Craig Kieswetter game where the bet was, you follow his Facebook page if he got 50, that was I think in August. You've now very much lost that prime slot. So I think the attendances, I'd say for the Blast probably have been down, but that's the 100 shouldn't be down at all. It's in the prime slot. It's in August. Kids are off school. You should be encouraging high crowds.
I think there's also the FIFA World Cup factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably been games on at the same time as 100 games, maybe.
I think more Blast games, more around the Blast, which is maybe.
The time is all just blurring into one.
Yeah, but I feel like August is the beginning of August and July is this should be the cricket slot because Wimbledon is over. The FIFA World Cup is over. The Premier League's not back for a couple of weeks, so you should be. What is our front and centre cricket spectacle that we should be prioritising? And it just can't be the 100.
Yeah, it's weird that it's the format that no other country plays.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it baffles me. It should be a Test match time, in my opinion. Like next year they've announced the Ashes fixtures, and the Ashes is over by the end of July, so they can get the 100 in August, and it's like that is just what we're doing. So yeah, I think it's old ground conversation. But at the crux of it, I mean, Duckett came out the other day being like, I'm so surprised the crowds are so empty because we've got so many good players on display, even though all these players just don't have any allegiance to any team. It's just same player, different shirt. But what person is going to say, I want to go watch, like if I take me as an example, hello, I feel so priced out of cricket, and then you have to make a decision, like way back in November or whatever, what cricket game am I going to go see next summer? And for me, it's been like, what can I afford? I can probably afford a day at a Test match. Am I going to choose a Test match day, or am I going to choose 200 games? Well, it's going to be a Test match, and I think that's just the general consensus along a lot of fans. I don't know who's being able to afford to go to a 100 game, Blast games, a Test match, ODIs, T20s, the Metro Bank Cup, County Champ. Who can go to all these games and afford it? You're pricing everyone out, and the 100 was supposed to be this introduction to cricket and getting people into cricket by being affordable, being accessible, being on free to air. But as soon as you get the private investors in, it's been like, well, we'll charge 20 quid more a ticket for the same product. Bin.
Like, and it was always weird that this was like the new like pioneering format,
Yeah.
especially to like market towards the younger generation, when it's just basically a slightly watered down version of T20
Yeah.
in the first
Yeah.
place. Like, just like vibe the T20 Blast up a bit, like give it a bit of zhuzh and
Yeah.
make it even more exciting
Yeah.
than it already is. Like, it
Should have always
just
been
felt-
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah.
to
I mean,
begin with.
yeah. What they'll do is they'll just expand the 100 so they can get a team southwest and get those Somerset contingent in, because cricket's so strong in that part of the country, and they want to tailor towards those fans. You'd think if they were smart, and they'll probably go Durham as well and go up there and try and get those contingent of fans, and they'll expand it to, I guess, 10 teams, and then that'll expand the competition, and then that'll make the blast window even smaller, and eventually they'll just scrap the blast and make the 100 a T20 competition, which is probably a roundabout way of what they should have done in the first place. But cricket fans, and I think sports fans generally in this country or everywhere, someone who supported, I don't know, Yorkshire all their life, why are they going to be like, well, now I'm going to support Sunrisers Leeds? Like, you've got all these counties and teams, and same with football or rugby, whatever. They've gone through decades, and they've been brought up by so many players and volunteers and whatever, and they've gone through so much to be such a focal point in the sport. You can't just say, like, here's new team, support this instead of this.
Like, famously, when Wimbledon were moved to Milton Keynes and became MK Dons, and now MK Dons are the most hated club in the
yeah.
period. And the Phoenix Club, AFC Wimbledon, have risen up to challenge them now. They're
yeah.
Like, people want the
teams they support.
That they support, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want franchising of things.
Yeah.
That's not to discredit the American way, for example. But because that's just their culture.
Yeah.
That's just what they know and what they like. But
So messy, and I'm glad we're stuck with this for definitely at least another year, and I'm glad that impacts the Ashes year. So that's cool. But yeah, down 20%, and I think quite rightly. So that's 100 news. What is good? Also, Joe Denley retired today, which is sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
So he's played his last game, which is emosh. Cheers, Denners.
Yeah. Good lad.
Good lad. Real good lad. Very sad. We'll get him on the pod.
I think we should. We need to ride
try.
the tail enders
Yeah.
in some way with a
Get him in.
third real former cricketer.
Yeah.
We lost out when Stuart Broad decided to do it with Joss Butler.
Joss Butler for some reason. Yeah.
I don't know why he would choose Joss Butler over us. We didn't ask him, but still.
And why would Mo choose Rashid over us?
That's fair. I think that's on course to be the best cricket podcast of all time.
Potentially. So yeah, that's sad. Denner's news. And yeah, I don't think there's much else. Maybe I'm forgetting something glaringly obvious, but I don't think I am. I'm going to say that's cricket news.
Sure. Do you want to talk about some tunnels?
Okay, go on. So now, welcome to the not crick segment.
Previously on Just Not Crick, I spontaneously mentioned some hidden tunnels across Europe.
Yeah.
I have since gone further down the rabbit hole and have decided to let's do a bit more of a focused look at the theories and everything. So here we are. So erdstall tunnels, which literally mean earth plates, are an underground tunnel 3-4 foot high, even smaller in width, mostly found in Austria and Germany. They often lead to nowhere. There's only one entrance. There are several layers to them. At the end of one tunnel, there's a little hole at the end, which is called a schlupf.
Ooh.
Schupf. Which literally just means drop down.
Okay. Yeah.
And that will take you down into the next tunnel, and that
Very
tunnel
nice.
will go on and on until it reaches an end.
Yeah.
It will have a slightly larger chamber surrounded by indents, which could be one thing or another, but we'll get on to that. The entrances have been found in cemeteries, woods, like even underground to like a farmhouse kitchen, and they date back to the Middle Ages, so we're thinking like 10th, 11th century.
Yeah.
But the most interesting thing, which we touched on last time, is that no one knows what they're used for.
Yeah.
Very rarely archaeologists have found things like millstones or like plowshares, but often there's no artifacts whatsoever. There's no human remains. They're just like empty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which leads to like, how do you know what they can possibly be used for?
So bizarre.
It is utterly fascinating.
Yeah.
And there are like equivalents in the UK called fugus, and there are in France there are souterrains, which are basically the same thing, but likewise very little evidence of what those were used for.
Yeah, well, the only thing I've got in France, in Paris, is obviously the catacombs in Paris, which obviously go right under the city and all the tunnels across it and stuff like that. That's the only thing I can think of something similar. But that's very specific reasoning and why that exists.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there is a purpose to that.
Yeah.
That has been discovered, but
yeah.
we just, like, there's just theorizing.
Yeah.
With erdstall tunnels. But that's kind of the fun of it.
Yeah.
So, the start of my own tunnel, digging down, has to do with a robotics expert called Raymond Erdlinger and his
what?
A robotics expert called Raymond Erdlinger and his colleague Kurt Neal. They made a special handheld device.
Yeah.
That's like connects to a camera to explore the tunnels. I will give you a picture quickly.
For people on YouTube, you'll be able to see a picture, or you can send it to me.
I'm just going to send it to you.
Okay, well, they can. You can look up yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Stand by, listeners, whilst I have a look at said image.
So, like, they have to.
Oh, yes, yeah.
They have to do this because there's only so much oxygen available.
Of course,
in the tunnels. Like,
yeah.
A person can go down there for a while, but it's so much safer to put this, which is basically a drone, to just go through and
with a little iPhone on it.
Record it. Yeah. So with this camera thingy, they discovered a space potentially used as a doorway with two holes stuck in the opposite wall, and their theory is that the two poles pushing against the door would act as a barricade.
Yeah.
So this supports a theory that the tunnels were used as a sort of hideaway. So like when bandits or whatever would attack a village, the villagers could go and hide away in the tunnels and just like see it out for a couple of days. But as I said, with the camera, because there's only so much oxygen, like it doesn't really make sense for that to be the case there. Like,
how would they have made if there's no oxygen as well? How would they have even made these tunnels in the first place?
Oh, I think that's also another great question. Like, we don't know why they were made. We don't know how they were made. There's there's just no evidence. But like, this theory that they were used as a hideaway doesn't really make sense.
No.
Unless it was just for a short period of time. But if it's any longer than like a couple of days, then they're kind of screwed.
Doomed.
It's just like a glorified tomb for them all.
Yeah.
And if the raiders find it, then even more fucked.
Yeah. But then, like you said, there's not really any evidence of there being remains and stuff, I guess, in these. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but like the next theory might offer some explanation to that. So like, because they're underground, as you would expect, the temperatures are a lot cooler. Yeah. So there is a theory that they were used for food storage. Okay. Like, conditions are
big
suitable
fridge
for like storing meat, dairy products. Yeah. Possibly for like maturing cheeses, curing meats.
Nice.
Which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But then I'll try and send you another picture. It might because it will show you the extent of just how far down they go. I think this is the right one. yeah, this is it.
Bear with me as it loads.
Like, just the extent of the levels and how far down it goes kind of defeats the point of it being a storage house.
Hold on
But
one
still,
sec.
like, conditions would suggest.
Oh, I see.
It's,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, conditions would suggest like it's not a bad idea to store food in there.
No.
It's just like it's not optimal, but it's not
Yeah.
awful.
I mean, don't get lost on your way to like your pies, otherwise you might your
That's the thing,
dies.
there's no getting lost. There's one entrance
Yeah.
going all the way down to the
Yeah.
dead end, basically.
Yeah.
Which could be a dead end if you stay in there longer.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't have a nap.
Yeah, but there is some evidence of the tunnels flooding.
Yeah.
So, which might explain why there's no evidence as to what they were used for. Like the water comes in, the water
Yeah.
comes out, and just
Yeah.
washes everything away.
Yeah.
But there is a fugu in Scotland that slopes downwards, and it's got its edges lined with iron.
Yeah.
So it might suggest that it was used to collect rainwater,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is a bit circumstantial, but like
I guess so. Yeah.
it's. But this is like everything's circumstantial, everything's conjecture.
Yeah. Gosh. Is this now going to be your new hobby to try and like come to the get to the bottom of erdstalls?
I think so.
Yeah.
I've got a favourite theory, but we're not there yet.
Okay. Okay.
As with anything utterly mental with no explanation, we
Uh-huh.
also have the
Aliens?
religious aspect. Nearly,
Oh.
not too far away from my favourite
Okay.
theory. But, and you know, Christians might be aliens, who knows?
Yeah.
And again, there's no evidence towards this, but the tunnels are predominantly found in Christian regions.
Yeah.
It's just like, there's no relics or
No.
connections to it, but that also doesn't disprove it. So like people can say it and be like, maybe,
Yeah.
but also because at the time, like Christianity and people, like priests and everything, they were writing things down. So surely, if Christians were using these tunnels, or if heathens or pagans were using them,
Yeah.
there would be some sort of record written down by the
Hmm.
church.
You thought so?
But
Yeah.
there's just
Nothing.
not. So that theory is kind of dismissed just on that
Yeah.
basis. I don't think you can. I think there's still a case for it being used as a religious thing, but like who knows? And what is religion if not like spirituality?
Yeah. True.
Another. Go on.
So I was, no, you carry on.
Okay. So another theory suggests that they are used for like spiritual healing ceremonies.
Okay.
Like the squeezing through the small, tight tunnels,
Yeah.
like a metaphysical rebirth. So like you go down there when you're feeling a bit ill, when you've got a bit
Yeah.
of the flu. You'd have to go all the way in, go all the way back. Bearing in mind you're proper ill, and there's
Yeah.
only a limited supply of oxygen.
Brilliant. Block nose.
Yeah, exactly. It's proper hard work. You can't
Yeah.
breathe properly.
No.
And
Is that
I
your
don't-
favourite one?
No, I don't hate this theory because it's stupid enough to be what
Yeah.
humans would think.
Yeah.
Like, the holes are really small,
Yeah.
that they could represent like a rebirth in that way.
Yeah.
But it's just wildly impractical.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, maybe there's like different ones have different purposes. Maybe that's, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a
Maybe it could have
possibility.
started out like as a fridge,
Yeah,
but then
I
it
think,
turned
I
into
think
something
that's
else.
definitely possible for, like, the ones in the UK are different to the ones in France are different to the ones in
Yeah.
Germany. So you mentioned aliens. Do you want to have another guess at what I'm going to say is the best theory?
Vampires.
We're getting closer, to be fair. And you'll understand how far down the rabbit tunnel I fell.
Okay. Well, what is it? What is it?
So, I'll take you down this little
Yeah.
story of a winding paths and
Erdstall
secret
path.
tunnels. So a regional term for erdstalls in like Bavaria and parts of Austria is Schratzeloch,
Yeah.
or Schratz or Schratzel, which translates roughly to goblin or kobold. And I stumbled across a German folktale. It's in German, so I had to use the little
translator. Yeah.
And it sort of describes like little goblin people popping up when people are farming and be like, oh, I've got the quote here. I'll try and find it. It is called the Von den Schratzen de Untervierau.
Okay.
Which mentions subterranean places that only an 8 or 10-year-old could traverse, which sounds familiar.
Sounds like a goblin to me.
Yeah. And this is a quote from the story. It is also said that a long time ago, a tiny, cheese-yellow little man with an icy...
Cheese-yellow?
Yep, cheese-yellow. That's his skin, I assume.
Wow.
A cheese-yellow little man with an icy grey beard appeared here and there in the moonlight, shouting, "Duck, duck, duck, dee," to the passers-by, and then it was time to bring the crops home as quickly as possible, because soon after, hailstorms regularly hit the area, knocking everything that was in the fields to the ground. So, based on that, the goblins are offering a warning to like local farmers to like, hurry up, get your crops in, it's gonna piss
it's gonna hail in a sec. Yeah.
And like towards the end of that story, I think they steal like soup, but the farmer's wife sees this, hits them on the head, and like locks up their hole so they can't come back out. And then suddenly their crops go to shit.
Yeah.
Because the goblins can't come out.
Warn
them. Yeah. Well, maybe goblins. They're cheese yellow little bastards.
Well, true. Yeah. Hobbits.
Beards. Maybe hobbits.
Yeah.
I don't think we can discredit the fact that Tolkien might have known about these tunnels because they're close enough to
it's close enough to a hobbit hole. Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Oh, gosh.
Right.
I feel like you opened a whole new can of worms in this instalment of Erdstall.
Right.
There's got to be, it has to be some kind of thesis or something that you've got to find for next time.
There's not a lot written about these.
All right. Well, for the next time, I think you've got to go to one and actually see it in person and then do some research.
I think you genuinely can go in one. I think in Austria. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And I think you have to have like a guide with you with like an oxygen mask, just in case.
Yeah.
Because there has been like cases of people fainting while just having a look around.
Gosh. Well, that's going to be our Just Not Croak on tour.
I think so. I think we definitely should. Do you have a favourite theory, or you just...
Oh, the Goblin one's the best one, isn't it? I love the Goblin one. That makes the most silly sense. I mean, I'm going to throw in aliens, that they were from some kind of big alien spaceship beam.
I swear I saw that as a theory as well.
Yeah.
Didn't give it.
It's from a laser that shot into the ground and it splintered once it was inside.
Yeah, but that it would also make sense if it was built by the farmers for the goblins as like a thank you. That there aren't any like artifacts. Do you know what I mean? Like they've built
little goblin
mythological creature which don't exist, obviously.
Or maybe they did exist, but now they've been made extinct because they kept putting manhole covers on top of it.
Yeah, they kept stealing soup and got hit by farmers' wives over there.
Yeah. Goodness me. I mean, I'm intrigued. I feel like there's not going to be much more to learn, but I feel like I want to know more. So.
Yeah, I think there is a diminishing amount of returns.
Yeah. Well, that's the challenge. I mean, if you're listening and you know about Erdstalls, maybe you've been in an Erdstall, maybe you fainted in one.
Send me any answer.
Let us know. And get involved in our Erdstall chat. But then just generally, I don't know how interested all our listeners will be, but I'm interested, and that's the main thing.
I think that's the only goal I have when it comes to Trick.
No, I love that. No, well done, Jamie. Good knowledge and good theories and stuff. Maybe we'll find out more next time.
I'm really happy I found the little folklore story as well. That was such a gem.
No, that's great. No, I'm intrigued. It's also something you can definitely take in and use inspiration for writing and stuff, isn't it? I think it's quite like maybe Tolkien did, like you said. Who knows? But
There's
cool.
Always like the as well. Like, people... Like, the Fugus in the UK are not connected to the erdstalls. Like, how can they be?
Yeah.
But there's still basically the same structures
Yeah.
occurring in different countries. So, like,
Yeah. Goodness knows. It's so old as well. Who knows? It's going to boggle my mind.
how will I sleep at night?
I don't... Not in an erdstall. It was a fridge.
I think I'd rather talk about erdstalls endlessly than Rob Key.
I agree, yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully we won't have to talk about Rob Key again until the end of the Pakistan series.
And by then we'll be a Merlin podcast.
Yeah. Trying to remember where we are. So yeah, thank you for Erdstall chat. I generally enjoy the Erdstalls. I can't remember when the next test. I think the first test match is the 19th of August. So I guess we'll be back after that test finishes because I'm not going to talk about the 100 anymore. And that'll be Root's return, but not Fleming's first game. Flemball.
We need a different term.
We'll think of that. If you've got any suggestions, let us know. But we're back then. If people want to find us in the meantime, Jamie, where are they going to find us?
Just Not Crit Pod, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, YouTube, podcast places.
In an Erdstall.
But
Don't stay too long. No, please don't. But yes, please follow us to those places if you really want to. Thanks for listening if you made it this far. And if you do enjoy Erdstalls, genuinely let us know.
Yeah,
and we'll make it an Erdstall podcast and Merlin podcast. But yeah, well, I guess we'll be back in a couple of weeks. And then I can't think of an Erdstall ending, so cheers.
Secret tunnel.
Yeah.